Hello everyone. So welcome. So today we'll be discussing that is something very important part in the primary market, and that is all about book building. So what is book building? So book building is actually one of the processes which is involved as a method in raising the or floating the new issue of shares in the primary market. So in the previous session, we had been discussing about various methods of floating new issue of shares in the primary market. So in addition to that, we have this method that is book building. So let us know what is book building all about. So it's a process by which an underwriter attempts to determine the price at which an initial public offering will be offered. It is also the de facto mechanism by which the companies price their initial public offers, that is IPOs, and it's highly recommended by all the major stock exchanges as the most efficient, as it is the most efficient way to price the securities. So we can find that book building is favored in a lot of ways. There are some important features of book building. As we know, it is introduced by SEBI to strengthen the capital market and safeguard the investors' interest. It was introduced based on the recommendations of Y.H. Malengam Committee. So this particular committee name is Malengam Committee. So Malengam was a person under whose recommendations this book building was introduced in October 1995. Later it is used mostly by the Indian IPO companies today. As per SEBI guidelines 1997, it is applied to the 100% of issue if the issue size is 100 crores or more. Let us know some important process involved in book building. Very, very important question. The first step is appointment of investment banker. The second is collecting bids. Third is price discovery. Fourth is publicizing. And fifth is settlement. So let us see the first step. That is appointment of investment banker. What happens here? The lead investment banker conducts the due diligence. They propose the size of the capital issue that must be conducted by the company. They propose a price band for the shares to be sold. The lower end of the price ranges is calling to be the floor price, and the higher end would be called the ceiling price. The mid level of both the prices is called collar price. The final price at which the securities are indeed offered for sale after the entire book building process is called to be the cutoff price. Then the second step falls to be collecting bids. What happens over here? Investors are requested to bid the number of shares that are willing to buy at various price levels. These bids, along with the application money, are supposed to be submitted to the investment bankers. The lead investment bankers appoint various sub-agents into their network in order to receive the bids from the large group of individuals. The third step is price discovery. What is price discovery? Once all the bids that have been aggregated by the lead investment banker, they begin this process of price discovery. And the final price chosen is simply the weighted average of all the bids that have been received by the investment bank. And this price is also called to be the cutoff price, which you have already discussed in the first step. The fourth step is publicizing. What happens over here? In the interest of transparency, stock exchanges all over the world require that the companies make public the details of the bids that were received by them. It is the lead investment banker's duty to run the advertisements containing the details of the bids required for the purchase of shares for a given period of time. And finally, the regulators in many markets, they're entitled to physically verify the bid applications which they will need to take forward. And finally, settlement. The application amount received from various bidders, they have to be adjusted and shares are to be allotted. If a bidder has to bid a lower price than the cutoff price, then the call letter has to be sent asking the balance amount to be paid. If the banker has to, if the bidder has bid a higher price than the cutoff price, a refund check needs to be processed for them. And finally, the settlement process that it should ensure that only the cutoff amount is collected from the investors in lieu of the shares which are sold to them. Now let us see, my dear friends, how do you think this book building is better than any price mechanism, fixed price mechanism here? So the first thing is it helps or facilitates quick and easy collection of funds, provides real and fair price to investors based on the demand and the supply forces in the capital market. There are only minimum chances of under subscription and oversubscription. Cost of issues is also very less comparative. And finally, it is easy to evaluate the intrinsic value of the shares and credibility of the company. So as we find there are merits, there are some limitations also for book building. Let us see what are they. First is it's suitable only for mega issues. Second, it may not work efficiently in immature market conditions. It is useful only to big and strong companies which are well known to the investors. Now, these are the limitations. So let us see some important facts related to book building. The first is ICICI Bank was the first company, private-based company, to issue or use this book building method for rupees 1,000 crores bond issue in April 1996 by rupees 4,323 crores issued by L&T, Larsen & Toubro, and 5,879 crore bond issued by TISCO, Tata Iron Steel Company, which is now called Tata Steel Limited. Hughes Software was the first Indian IT industry to adopt the book building process, and its issue was highly oversubscribed. Let us see some important differences. So the first difference we're going to learn here is all about private placement and public issue. Private placement are the issues which are offered to mature and sophisticated institutional investors. Public issues are primarily offered to the retail investors. Private placement, they don't have any disclosure requirements, but this disclosure requirement needed to be fulfilled in the public issues as such. All the issues are screened in case of the public issues, whereas some issues are not screened because they can increase the scope for the risk in case of private placement. The second difference we're going to learn is about the right issue and the public issue. Public issue, it's made to the public at large. Rights issue, it's made to the existing shareholders. The rights issue, if you see the flotation cost is low comparatively, but the flotation cost is high in case of the public issue. Price is much less than the existing market price in the rights issue. Public issue price is generally lower than the expected market price, if you see. Now, let's see the last differences between rights issue of shares and the bonus issue of shares. So if you see the first based on the meaning, right shares are the one available to the existing shareholders equivalent to their shareholdings that can be bought at a fixed price for a definite period of time. Bonus issue of shares, it refers to the shares issued by the company free of cost to the existing shareholders in proportion to their holdings out of the accumulated profits and reserves. If you see the price of the right shares, it's issued at discounted price. If you see in case of the bonus shares, it is issued free of cost. Objective behind rights issue of shares is to raise the fresh capital for the firm. Objective behind bonus issue of shares is to bring the market price per share within a more popular range. And finally, renunciation. If you see the case of renunciation, the shareholders may partially or fully renounce their rights. But in case of the bonus issue, no such renunciation is found. So these are the important things that we have been discussing today. I hope it is very clear. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.